All right, last time we looked at solving linear equations by graphing. Now we're going to look at solving linear equations using a little bit of algebra. It's known as using the addition methods. We're going to look at doing this using the addition method. So suppose I give you the system 3x minus 4y equals 11 and negative 3x plus 2y equals negative 7. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add these together. I'm going to add them together. So let's just take it one step at a time. 3x plus negative 3x cancels itself out. Negative 4y plus 2y gives me negative 2y. Then 11 plus negative 7 is 4. Now let's go ahead and solve for y. I'm just going to erase this 0 because it's irrelevant. Solve for y, divide by negative 2, and y equals negative 2. Now that we have that, we can plug in and solve. I'll use the top one. Why not? You can use either one you want. We'll get the same result. Plug in on negative 2 for y. 3x minus 4 times negative 2 equals 11. So 3x negative 4 times negative 2 is a positive 8. 11. Subtract 8 from both sides. 3x equals 3. So x equals 1. So the point 1, negative 2 is a solution to this system of equations. Now let's try one. How about x plus y equals 4 and x minus y equals 6? I need to go ahead and pause the video, go ahead and try to solve, and come back when you're ready to look at it. All right, welcome back. Now in this one, we have a positive y and a negative y. So let's add x plus x is 2x, positive y plus negative y cancels out. 4 plus 6 is 10, little simple algebra. X equals 5. Now we can look at the first one, or the second, I'll look at the second one. 5 minus what gives us 6? So y is negative 1. So the ordered pair 5, negative 1 is a solution to this system of equations. All right, let's move on. Let's get a little more challenging. Let's try. How about 3x minus y equals 11 and 2x plus 5y equals 13. Now let's take a look at this. We have a negative y and a positive y, but they're not the same value. We have a negative 1y and a positive 5y. How do you think we can fix this? Let's take this whole equation here and multiply it by 5. And then I'm going to bring it down here. 3x times 5, 15x. Negative y times 5, negative 5y. 11 times 5, 55. Now we have two equations that have opposite y, so we can cancel them out. So let's add them together. 2x plus 15x, 17x. Y's cancel out, and you're left with then 68. Divide both sides by 17. X equals 4. Once we get 4, I'll just take 3x minus y equals 11. You can use the original one you want. I have 3 times 4 minus y equals 11. Do that. 12 minus y equals 11. Y equals 1. So we have the point 4, 1 as a solution. All right, why don't I give you guys one? Try on your own, then we'll dive into it. How about 3x plus 2y equals 48, and 9x minus 8y equals negative 24. Why don't you guys go ahead and pause the video, go ahead and solve, come back when you're ready. All right, welcome back. Now, if I look, I have a positive and a negative y, but they're not the same value. I'm going to multiply this by 4. 3x times 4, 12x plus 8y equals 192. So now we have these two equations here. I can add them together. 9x plus 12x, 21x. Y's cancel out. That is equal to, I should have done this ahead of time, 168. Divide both sides by 21. X equals 8. Plug that in and solve. Let's take a look at our 3x plus 2y equals 48. Plug in 8 for x, so 3 times 8 plus 2y equals 48. 24 plus 2y equals 48. Can you guys still see that? Okay. Subtract 24, divide by 2, y equals 12. So get the ordered pair 8, 12 as a solution. All right. Suppose I gave you 2x equals 7y, 7y minus 17, and 5y equals 17 minus 3x. Can we really do much with these equations? No. They're not in the same form. You always want to get your equations into an ax plus by equals c format. In order to do that, this top one here, let's subtract 7y from both sides. 2x minus 7y equals negative 17. Then over here, let's add 3x to both sides. You get 3x plus 5y equals 17. Now that you have both of them in an ax plus by format, you can solve. I'm not going to go ahead and solve this one. I just want to show you guys how to set that up and make sure you have the proper format so that you can solve. All right, let's take a look. Get a little trick here. 4x plus 6y equals 12, and 6x plus 9y equals 12. Now, for starters, we have positives all the way across, right? And there's no simple multiple. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look, you want to look at the x's or the y's? Let's take a look at the x's. We have a 4 and a 6. Well, if I take this top one and I multiply it by 6 times 6, I will get 24x plus 36y equals 72. Now this bottom one, if I multiply it by 4, I'm still going to have a positive. So I'm going to multiply it by a negative 4. Multiply this by a negative 4, you get negative 24x minus 36y equals negative 48. Now we can add 24x plus negative 24x is 0. 36y minus 36. Uh-oh. Then 72 plus a negative 48 is 24. But over here we have zeros and 24. What that means is there is no solution. This one has no solution. And also keep in mind on what I touched on. I did a couple things with this problem. I multiplied both equations, and I multiplied one of them by a negative. So a couple things you want to be prepared to do. Be prepared to do. A couple things. Be prepared to multiply both equations and be able to multiply by a negative if you need to flip a sign. Make sure you remember how to do those two things. Now let's take a look at one more. We'll land this plane, get out of here. 2x minus y equals 3. Negative 4x plus 2y equals negative 6. Well, if I take a look at this one, if I multiply this by 2, let's multiply this by 2. Then that gives me 4x minus 2y equals 6. Now let's take a look at what we've got here. Negative 4x plus 4x is 0. 2y plus negative 2y is 0. But negative 6 plus 6 is also 0. So now we have 0 plus 0 is 0. Is that a true statement? Yes, it is. 0 plus 0 does in fact equal 0. So even though we have a bunch of zeros, if you have all 3 zeros, then this means it has many solutions. Infinitely many solutions. Just like we talked about in the last section, if two lines are the same line, have infinitely many solutions. This is a case of having that happen, and we use algebra to solve it. So this wraps up 4.3. Email me if you have any questions.